Xiao and Sooner jointly refined the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. With its assistance, they finally became a true couple. Continuing from the previous chapter, the Pure Lotus Demon Saint erased the memories of the Pure Lotus Demon Flame, turning it into an ownerless entity. In the sky, after a moment, Xiao managed to suppress his excitement. Pure Lotus Demon Flame. He exchanged a glance with Sooner and then carefully descended. They halted a few meters from the alternating milky pink flame lotus. The current Pure Lotus Demon Flame was undeniably different from before. Previously violent, it was now calm and serene, not attacking as Xiao and Sooner approached. "It seems different from just now," Sooner said in surprise as she observed the tranquil floating flame lotus. The Pure Lotus Demon Saint erased its past memories and intelligence. Now, the Pure Lotus Demon Flame is like a newborn baby, Xiao said, his face full of enthusiasm. After witnessing the flame's previous violent nature, he dared not refine it, knowing that even the powerful Pure Lotus Demon Saint had perished from its backlash. As a mere 2-star doshang, how could he take such a risk? However, this worry was now gone. The remnants of the Pure Lotus Demon Saint and the Pure Lotus Demon Flame had both vanished, leaving behind a flame as pure as a newborn, devoid of any violence. Doesn't this damage the Pure Lotus Demon Flame's spirit? Sooner frowned. The uniqueness of the heavenly flames lay in their spirit, which set them apart from ordinary flames. Without this spirit, they would lose their dazzling allure. With the Pure Lotus Demon Saint's methods, he wouldn't do something foolish. The spirit of the Pure Lotus Demon Flame is still intact, but some elements that didn't belong to it were stripped away. Xiao shook his head. Now it's as pure as when it first appeared in the world, free from any artificial influence or pollution. "It seems the Pure Lotus Demon Saint has done us a great favor," Sooner said with a soft laugh. What seemed destined to fail was now promising thanks to the intervention of the Pure Lotus Demon Saint, who stripped away the flame's negative emotions. "What now? The space passage here has dissipated. I tried just now, but with our current abilities, we can't tear open this space," Sooner said hesitantly. Although they were both 2-star doshangs, the space here was created by the Pure Lotus Demon Saint, and remnants of seals made it difficult to breach. Xiao rubbed his chin, staring at the flame lotus above the magma. "Since we can't leave for now, let's refine the Pure Lotus Demon Flame here." "Are you confident?" Sooner frowned. Though the Pure Lotus Demon Flame no longer attacked randomly, it was still the third-ranked terrifying existence on the Heavenly Flames list. Refining it would not be easy. "Less than 50%, Xiao said with a faint smile, not hiding anything. Having witnessed the flame's formidable power, he held the utmost caution. Few in the world could confidently claim to refine the Pure Lotus Demon Flame, so how could he guarantee success? Hearing this modest assurance, a hint of worry flashed in Sooner's eyes. "This is unavoidable. If we leave with the Demon Flame's essence, it will attract countless envious eyes. Even if we seek refuge with you in the Gu clan, it will bring immense trouble to the Sky Mansion Alliance. This Demon Flame space was personally created by the Pure Lotus Demon Saint, so even your father would find it difficult to enter. Otherwise, they would have taken the Demon Flame long ago. Thus, this place is perfect for refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame without any distractions," Xiao said with a smile. "If we don't return for a while, others might think something happened to us, which would save us a lot of trouble. As for my teacher and the others, Xian and I have the Dragon Seal connection, so there's no need to worry too much." Hearing Xiao explanation, Sooner pondered for a moment before nodding. What he said made sense. Many eyes in the Central Plains were fixed on the Demon Flame space. If people discovered them leaving with the Demon Flame essence, even the threat of the Gu clan might not deter some from acting out of greed. This would entangle them in endless troubles, especially with the Soul clan watching closely. They wouldn't have the quiet time needed to refine the Demon Flame. "When do you plan to start?" Sooner asked softly, her eyes shimmering. There's no rush. We have time, and refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame is no simple task. I need to prepare some things first," Xiao replied with a smile, shaking his head. His gaze was intense as he looked at the flame lotus floating on the magma. Initially, He thought that reaching the Dosheng level would make refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame easy, but reality taught him that without adequate preparation, it was uncertain who would refine whom. Outside the Demon Flame space, the twisted sky gradually returned to normal. The intense heat that once engulfed the area diminished, and the churning magma desert below began to solidify into white rocks. In the surrounding sky, numerous figures hovered, their eyes filled with unwillingness as they gazed at the space. With the disappearance of the spatial passage, they lost all sense of that space, unable to make it reappear no matter what methods they tried. Why haven't Xiao and the others come out yet? Yuewen ancestor asked, his face heavy with concern as he stared at the space. Since their escape, there had been no movement from within. Gu Nanhai's eyes were fixed on the space, sweat covering his forehead. Mississippi. Sooner held an esteemed position in the Gu clan, and now he had lost her. The thought of facing the clan's reprimand upon returning filled him with dread. Elder, don't blame yourself. Sooner insisted on staying with Xiao. Even if we had reacted in time, it wouldn't have made a difference. Xiao has great fortune and Sooner will be fine, Gu Qingyang sighed. He hadn't expected Sooner to risk such danger for Xiao. What if something happens? Gu Nanhai gritted his teeth. The demon flame space was inhospitable even for someone as powerful as him, let alone Xiao and Sooner. Let's wait a bit longer, Yao Lao sighed. At this point, words were useless. The demon flame space had already closed, and they couldn't re-enter. All they could do was wait patiently. Hearing Yao Lao, the others could only nod silently. Not far away, the deputy hall master of the Soul Hall glanced at the worried Yao Lao and others, sneering, "Heh, it seems the Gu clan suffered a significant loss this time. Sooner has extraordinary talent. Given enough time, her achievements would be terrifying. Although we didn't get the Pure Lotus Demon Flame, we did eliminate two major threats." The Soul Hall master frowned. Xiao carries the remnants of the Pure Lotus Demon Saint. Unexpected events might happen. Han Feng added slowly, Xiao is cunning and resourceful. He doesn't seem like someone who would die young. We'll stay here for a few more days. I want to see what tricks those two juniors can pull, the Soul Demon Elder said, his eyes flickering before his voice turned low and grave. With his decision, the other three nodded slowly and remained silent. After the demon flame space closed, most people chose not to leave. They stayed, hoping for any change, unwilling to accept their journey as wasted. 7 days passed in waiting. During this time, the space remained utterly silent, not even emitting a trace of unusual warmth. This outcome disappointed many, and some finally left with great reluctance. Gu Qingyang smiled bitterly, looking at Gu Nanhai, who seemed to have aged considerably. After hesitating for a moment, he asked, "It's been 7 days, Elder. What should we do?" Gu Nanhai shook his head, his voice hoarse. "I don't know." Beside him, Yao Lao's face also showed signs of fatigue. Just as he was about to speak, the space in front of them rippled slightly, and Xian's silhouette appeared. As soon as she emerged, she shook her head at Yao Lao and said, "I can't find the demon flame space. It has a seal, and I can't detect its location." Upon hearing this, Yao Lao and the others' expressions darkened further. However, Xiao should be fine. If something happened to him, the dragon seal would disappear. Xian extended her delicate hand, revealing a faint golden dragon seal in her palm. She turned to Gu Nanhai and smiled, "Elder Gu, don't worry. Xiao and Sister Sooner are together. With his nature, he would never let anything happen to her. If she were in danger, he would go crazy, and the dragon seal wouldn't remain so calm." Hearing this, Gu Nanhai's expression finally relaxed a bit. He looked up at Yao Lao and sighed, "No matter what, the situation has happened. I need to return to the Gu clan and report this. Rest assured, I will have people monitor this area constantly. If there's any movement, the information will be sent to the Gu clan immediately," Yao Lao said solemnly. "Thank you." Gu Nanhai forced himself to gather some energy, bowed to Yao Lao, and then took one last deep look at the distant space before flying towards the northern sky. Gu Qingyang quickly followed. Watching the two depart, Yao Lao and the others exchanged glances and sighed again. As the crowd outside the demon flame space gradually dispersed, inside, Xiao Yin, who had been preparing for 7 days, slowly opened his eyes. It was finally time to start refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. He had waited for this day for over a decade. Xiao Yin, are you ready? Sooner, seated cross-legged in midair, slowly opened her beautiful eyes. Seeing Xiao Yin suddenly stand up, she smiled sweetly. Xiao Yin nodded, yes. His gaze turned to the formation above. The formation, connected by faint lines of fire, emitted a slight chill. This is the frost formation. The cold here isn't ordinary mist, but something that arises at extremely high temperatures. It's a peculiar type of cold flame. Although this formation isn't as terrifying as the one set up by the Pure Lotus Demon Saint, it can still suppress the Pure Lotus Demon Flame to some extent, Xiao Yin explained to Sooner, who was puzzled. Understanding dawned on Sooner, and she nodded. Xiao Yin smiled, then turned his attention back to the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. His expression grew serious. I'm going to start refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame now. Sooner, keep an eye out for me. Sooner's face also became solemn. Okay. Refining the Pure Lotus Demon Flame was no easy task. A single misstep could reduce Xiao Yin to ashes. Xiao Yin was well aware of the risks, but there was no time for hesitation. Changing his hand seals, the formation above began to spin rapidly. A dense chill surged from the formation, directed at the area where the flame lotus was located. Under the influence of this cold, the surrounding magma quickly solidified, leaving only the flame lotus slowly rotating, now covered with a thin layer of frost on its petals. Seeing the formation taking effect, Xiao Yin breathed a sigh of relief. He clenched his hand, and a pink jade bottle appeared. Tilting the bottle, a pale red liquid poured out, quickly falling onto the flame lotus. The pale red liquid was called Drunken Demon Nectar, known for its extremely potent anesthetic effects. Xiao Yin didn't expect it to completely sedate the demon flame, but he hoped its medicinal power would put the Pure Lotus Demon Flame into a lazy state, thus further reducing its strength and increasing the chances of successful refinement. As the Drunken Demon Nectar entered the Pure Lotus Demon Flame, the flame lotus slowly unfolded, and even its petals seemed to take on a languid demeanor. Although the Pure Lotus Demon Flame still retained its spirit, it lacked true intelligence at this moment. It needed to interact with humans for a period before regaining its former sharpness. But now, it was the perfect time for Xiao Yin to act. After completing these 2 steps, Xiao Yin didn't stop. He retrieved another pill from his storage ring. As soon as the pill appeared, an icy mist surged around it. This pill was none other than the 9-yin yellow spring pill, which Xiao Yin had prepared in advance. With a flick of his finger, the 9-yin yellow spring pill shot forward and melted upon contact with the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. Instantly, layers of ice began to form on the flame's surface. However, as soon as the ice appeared, it was evaporated by the terrifying heat, producing a continuous stream of hissing white mist that rose from the demon flame. In the sky, Xiao Yin exhaled deeply, nodded slightly at Sooner, then swiftly turned and flashed towards the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. The flame lotus had fully bloomed, and at its core was a cluster of pink flames, curling like a baby. The intense heat radiating from this pink flame could make one's soul tremble. Xiao Yin stared fervently at the pink flame. This was the true essence of the demon flame. Despite its small size, this tiny cluster of flames could incinerate a 6-star Do Sheng to ashes if it entered their body. Its terrifying power was unquestionable. Xiao Yin focused intensely on the demon flame essence, his inner flame circulating wildly before condensing on his body's surface. However, his usually formidable fused flame trembled slightly and appeared dim, clearly intimidated by the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. The top 3 flames on the Heavenly Flames list were all monarchs among flames, and encountering them would weaken ordinary flames significantly. Even though Xiao Yan's flame was a fusion of 5 different flames, it was still no match for the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. At this moment, Xiao Yin couldn't care about the dimness of his external flame. Under Sooner's anxious gaze, he slowly extended his trembling hand, reaching through the flame lotus and grabbing the cluster of pink flames. The instant Xiao Yan's hand touched the pink flame, it expanded rapidly, transforming into a raging inferno that enveloped his entire body. The terrifying heat that could alter the sky's color erupted suddenly. The sudden turn of events shocked Sooner Xiao. She stood up quickly, her beautiful eyes filled with anxiety as she watched the pink flames. Within the blazing fire, Xiaoyan's face twisted in agonizing pain. He frantically urged his internal flame to resist the Pure Lotus Demon Flame's destructive heat. Despite his thorough preparations, the moment of contact revealed the true terror of the third-ranked flame on the Heavenly Flames list. Heavy breaths escaped from Xiaoyan's mouth as crimson blood seeped from his pores. The blood quickly solidified into a crust, clinging tightly to his skin, making him look like he was wearing a suit of blood-red armor. Heh. I've worked for this day for so many years. This pain won't stop me. Drenched in blood, with his hair turned to ash, Xiaoyan's bald head looked both comical and pitiful. His eyes, blurred by blood, stared fixedly at the pink flame in his palm. A grim smile appeared on his face, and to Sooner's astonishment, he stuffed the flame into his mouth and swallowed it whole. As soon as the demon flame essence entered his body, the ancient insect emperor garment covering him turned to ash. His skin rapidly disintegrated, exposing the flesh beneath. Between the layers of flesh, faint scales were visible, remnants of the hidden dragon phoenix ancient armor. Even this sturdy armor dimmed under the flame's intensity. Flame mantra, refine it. Indescribable pain erupted from every part of Xiaoyan's body, a pain so intense it could drive one mad. But Xiaoyan's eyes turned blood-red as he clung to consciousness with sheer willpower, roaring wildly in his heart. Upon his mental command, Xiaoyan's Do Qi surged fearlessly towards the demon flame essence, forcefully wrapping around it and beginning the refinement process according to the flame mantra. Sensing the refinement, the demon flame essence began to struggle violently, its temperature rising to terrifying levels. Some of Xiaoyan's more fragile meridians turned to ash, and even some bones showed signs of softening. Outside, Sooner watched in a daze as Xiaoyan screamed and struggled within the flames. His body had shrunk to almost half its size, looking terrifying. Xiaoyan. Sooner bit her lip hard, drawing blood. Every one of Xiaoyan's low growls felt like a knife cutting into her heart, causing her breathing to become difficult. This was her first time witnessing Xiaoyan consume a heavenly flame. Although she couldn't feel it herself, she could imagine the indescribable pain he was enduring. Over the years, Xiaoyan had trained alone, and while others only saw his astonishing speed of progress, they had no idea of the price he paid for his strength. Amidst the overwhelming flames, Xiaoyan's desperate roars echoed, "Refine it!" However, despite his efforts, his body continued to deteriorate. The Pure Lotus Demon Flame's power was vast and infinite, far beyond what one person could bear. The terrifying flames filled every part of his body and mind, and without an outlet, they would eventually incinerate him from within. If this continues, you will surely die. Sooner wiped away the tears that had fallen from her eyes due to the pain in her heart. Suddenly, golden flames surged from her body, and she traced a graceful arc through the sky, throwing herself into the flames that were torturing Xiaoyan to the brink of death. The sudden intrusion of someone else immediately brought Xiaoyan back to some semblance of sanity from his pain-filled days. He roared angrily, "Sooner, you!" However, before he could finish his shout, the jade-like figure of Sooner, who had rushed into the flames, wrapped herself around him like a snake. The soft touch and delicate fragrance ignited the nearly frenzied flames within Xiaoyan. Sooner. Clutching the perfect, jade-like body tightly, Xiaoyan breathed heavily. His eyes regained some clarity. He knew very well what could happen if things continued like this. The last time with Medusa had been similar, but back then, he had no rationality at all. Now, he was still somewhat in control. Xiaoyan, only together can we refine it, Sooner whispered seductively, her voice enchanting, as she lightly bit Xiaoyan's earlobe. Those simple words finally made Xiaoyan's eyes turn blood-red again. With a beast-like growl, he tore apart Sooner's delicate clothes, which turned to ash in the intense heat, and immediately, a sense of springtime warmth filled the space. In the high-temperature-filled space, flames raged like roaring dragons. The vast sea of magma occasionally burst forth with sky-high pillars of fire, raining down like a fiery downpour from the sky. Hovering several dozen meters above the sea of magma was a massive pink fireball, 100 meters in diameter. The flames burned fiercely, emanating waves of destructive power that distorted the surrounding space. Within the fireball, two figures could be seen entwined with each other. Golden flames and purplish-brown flames intertwined, resisting the pervasive invasion of the demon flame. The figures within the fireball were naturally Xiao and Suner. With Suner's help, Xiao condition had significantly improved. His previously damaged body began to heal gradually, aided by the immortal properties of the 3,000 burning flames. The vast energy released by the Pure Lotus Demon Flame was continuously channeled into Suner's body in their most harmonious posture, preventing Xiao body from reaching the brink of destruction and saving him from a potential deadly explosion. Under the joint absorption of Xiao and Suner, the vast energy released by the Pure Lotus Demon Flame was gradually absorbed. As they drew in this energy like sponges soaking up water, their auras surged quietly but powerfully. The Pure Lotus Demon Flame had existed for an immeasurable amount of time, containing an unfathomable amount of energy. Successfully absorbing it would be a tremendous boon for anyone. The enormous fireball hovered in midair, its surface constantly rippling with waves of fire that expanded outward in concentric circles. Inside the fireball, the two figures had their eyes closed, seemingly in a deep sleep. Golden and purplish-brown flames continuously flowed from their bodies, resisting the intense heat of the demon flame and protecting them. Despite these external measures, Xiao internal struggle continued. With sheer willpower and Suner's assistance, he barely maintained an internal balance, slowly refining the essence of the demon flame. Although the process was painfully slow, it was a vast improvement from the initial helplessness, and Xiao could now see a glimmer of hope. The scorching space was devoid of any life, with only occasional magma pillars erupting from the vast sea of lava. The desolation and oppressiveness were the main themes of this world. In this monotony, time became blurred and monotonous. Xiao and Suner seemed to be in a deep sleep, without any movement, but their increasingly vibrant life force indicated their improving condition. Outside their bodies, as time passed, a tricolored ring of fire gradually formed around them. Gold, purplish-brown, and pink. These three colors represented three powerful heavenly flames. Among them, pink occupied the majority, with the gold and purplish-brown flames maintaining only a small area. However, over time, the gold and purplish-brown flames slowly expanded their territory. Despite the Pure Lotus Demon Flame's instinctive resistance and Xiao various weakening methods, it gradually yielded to the combined force of the Golden Emperor's sky-burning flame and Xiao fused heavenly flame. This stalemate of tricolored flames persisted for an unknown period. Finally, one day, the fire ring quivered, and the three colors each occupied a perfect third of the area, achieving a strange balance in their struggle. As this balance formed, Xiao suddenly opened his eyes. His deep voice resonated, "Flame mantra, refine." Xiao fused flame and the Pure Lotus Demon Flame had developed a peculiar connection through prolonged interaction. When Xiao began circulating the flame mantra, both flames followed its path within his body. As the Pure Lotus Demon Flame finally started to be refined by the flame mantra, layers of energy-laden clouds suddenly appeared in the sky. These clouds swirled above the fireball, and the sea of magma below surged with violent waves. Xiao noticed the changes outside, but remained undisturbed. After such a long period of refining, he was very familiar with the Pure Lotus Demon Flame. It was natural for such a high-level, heavenly flame to cause some celestial phenomena during its refinement. Suner, the time for harvest has come. Looking at the jade-like figure of Suner sleeping in his arms, Xiao face softened into a gentle smile. He held her slender waist lightly, and with a subtle change in his hand seal, he prepared for the next phase of the refinement. As Xiao hand seals changed, the ever-defiant Pure Lotus Demon Flame within him finally began to be refined, releasing a vast, liquid-like energy that flooded through his body like a tidal wave. In moments, his meridians were completely filled, and his flesh, muscles, bones, and cells ravenously devoured the endless energy like starving ghosts. Feeling the rapid surge of energy within, Xiao looked down and gently kissed Suner's slightly upturned lips. The immense energy flowed into her body like a tidal wave. The refinement continued, with wave after wave of energy circulating within Xiao before being channeled into Suner's body. After being absorbed by her, the residual energy returned to Xiao, becoming purer and infused with the essence of the Golden Emperor's sky-burning flame. As this process continued, a perfect cycle of energy gradually formed between Xiao and Suner. The endless, vast energy washed over every part of their bodies repeatedly, causing their auras to climb steadily. With the essence of the demon flame losing its resistance, the massive fireball began to calm down, its violent nature quietly diminishing. Inside the fireball, Xiao and Suner, tightly intertwined in a peculiar posture, were enveloped by a pink crystal layer with a faint golden glow. This layer gradually formed a cocoon-like crystal egg around them. As the crystal egg took shape, the auras of Xiao and Suner completely vanished, and the entire space became utterly devoid of life. A year had passed since the descent of the demon flame. Even though a year had gone by, the grand spectacle of that day remained a popular topic of conversation. In that year, significant events had transpired in the Central Plains. Shortly after the demon flame's descent, the Soul Hall began retaliating against the Sky Mansion Alliance for destroying the Human Hall. 1/3 of the Alliance's cities were attacked. However, the Sky Mansion Alliance did not yield. They mobilized their forces for a counterattack. Within a year, the two superpowers were locked in fierce conflict. Although both sides suffered considerable casualties, no final showdown occurred. The Sky Mansion Alliance, now fortified by powerhouses like Xian and Xiao, who were on par with the Soul Hall's master, deterred any direct assault on the Alliance's headquarters. Moreover, the ancestor of the Pill Tower had provided a means of communication with Yao Lao and others, serving as a hidden support. This made it impossible for the Soul Hall to threaten the Alliance's survival. As a result, despite the extensive conflict with the Soul Hall, the Sky Mansion Alliance did not falter. Instead, they began to gain the upper hand. This elevated the Sky Mansion Alliance's prestige to its peak in the Central Plains. Previously, no force had ever achieved such success against the Soul Hall. Consequently, many remarked that the position of dominance in the Central Plains was gradually shifting from the Soul Hall to the rising Sky Mansion Alliance. As for the clash, the Soul Clan didn't seem to provide the Soul Hall with significant help. Although they secretly sent some powerful individuals, they didn't grant the Soul Hall an overwhelming advantage. Yao Lao and the others could only attribute this to the restrictions the Soul Clan was bound by. Of course, while engaging in intense battles with the Soul Hall, Yao Lao and his allies never forgot to keep a close watch on the area where the demon flame had descended. However, each investigation only deepened their disappointment. Over the course of a year, that space showed no signs of activity. If not for the continued existence of the dragon seal in Xian's hand, they might have believed that Xiao and Suner had met with disaster within. Given the situation, they had no choice but to gradually shift their focus to the war with the Soul Hall. However, just as all eyes in the Central Plains were focused on the battle between the Soul Hall and the Sky Mansion Alliance, a piece of news that shocked the continent quietly spread, though no one knew where it originated from. The Shi clan, one of the 8 ancient clans, had mysteriously disappeared entirely, following the fate of the Ling clan. For a time, everyone sensed a subtle and eerie atmosphere enveloping the Central Plains.